A lot of people are curious about the status of P. Diddy.
Status of what?
P. Diddy. Diddy.
I think that this has been a really tough year, for tough 15 months for all of us. And not only have we lost Nicole, we've lost OJ.
I can close one eye at a time and still maintain all function.
I don't exist. So they're all characters that I played.
Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives,
Have a daughter, too. I would be heartbroken if she wanted to get her body done at 19.
It's like a little doll. It's like a broken doll, like a baby doll.
Thank you.
Yeah.
In February this year, when Megan Fox partied after the Super Bowl, people didn't recognize her. She was spotted with her fiance Machine Gun Kelly alongside Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. The four of them took a photo, but again, Megan did not look like herself. She was rocking an edgy look, but her face itself was different and people online noticed it too. On Twitter, one person said that Megan's doctor should be arrested on assault charges, and another added any more lip plump and she will float away. More people said that her new look was a glow down and that they were worried for her. Then, about a month later, Megan was on the Call Her Daddy podcast, and on it she addressed the plastic surgery rumors and every procedure she's had done in her entire life. She said she got her breasts done when she was 21 or 22 and then had them redone after breastfeeding her kids. I got them done in between the first and second Transformers, she said. Now Megan got them done as a young woman and later on she had kids, and breastfeeding then ruined them and forced the star to have to hide her chest and herself from the public until they were fixed. Except they didn't get fixed. According to her, the second time she got her breasts done, the implants were actually too large and her body fat couldn't hide the edges of the implants. They showed through her skin. Now it required a third procedure to take the implants out for a pair a size down. She also added that she had her nose done in her 20s, and she also had one procedure that she's not willing to share publicly. There's one thing I had done that I'm gatekeeping, she said. She also added, I've never had a facelift of any kind, so no mid-facelift, no lateral brow lift, although I would like one. She continued on saying, I've never had any fat removed, I'm a very lean person that doesn't have enough body fat or fat in my face, so I'll only ever put fat in. She also added that she's never had liposuction or body contouring before, but some people still don't believe her. Regardless, she looks very different than people have usually seen her. Chrissy Teigen has also been a topic of conversation when it comes to botched plastic surgery. Chrissy revealed in September 2021 that she underwent fat removal from her cheeks, known as buccal fat removal, which was all the craze with the celebrities. I did that Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal thing here, she posted on her Instagram story, pointing out her newly sculpted cheek area. And since I quit drinking, I'm really seeing the results and I like it, she said. But in June 2023, Chrissy shared a screenshot via her Instagram stories of a social media user who alleged that her face looked puffy due to face filler. Have you seen Chrissy Teigen's new face? The user wrote at the top of the video. This post is not out of mean intentions, it's merely here to discuss overfill and its possible consequences. Chrissy Teigen's new face. Look at how your face could become if you're doing it wrong. There's too much reliance on hyaluronic gel filters and not enough focus on building foundations, skin structure, and support. This can result in a puffy and bloated effect. Now in response, the model clapped back by writing over the screenshot, no mean intentions, question mark, question mark, question mark, but saying this could be your face if you do it wrong, you're a piece of I gained weight. But fans are still convinced that she's done something else to her face, and honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. At the 2024 Grammys, Miley Cyrus shocked fans with her new appearance. It appeared that she got buccal fat surgery and brand new veneers that don't really fit her mouth. A fan posted on Reddit about this to see if other people noticed the changes too, and they did. We need to imprison whatever plastic surgeon pioneered buccal fat removal, one person wrote. Another added, I can't tell if it's the buccal fat removal or the giant veneers that make her look so off these days, a second added. Now someone else added, she had a nose job for years, but yes, she's wearing contour on top of that. out. Honestly, with the buccal fat removal and the new veneers on top of her nose job, she's really working to complete her transformation into Tish, her mother. Now this is just so sad because Miley is so beautiful, but a lot of people think she's ruined her looks, including me, and it's honestly such a shame. Now, of course, we have to talk about the queen of plastic surgery, Kylie Jenner. Kylie is infamous for lip fillers she got as a teen that inspired her lipstick line. She lied about the fillers and then came clean, but it's hard to know what the truth is with her looks nowadays. Now, at the beginning of the year when she was on red carpets, fans were calling her out for looking old. Kylie was only 26 years old, but fans said she looked way older for her age. One person commented, "We're seeing in real time what long-term filler usage does as you age," and you know what? I honestly think they're right. There's so much we don't know about the beauty industry, and I don't think putting chemicals into your face is a good thing. Now, literally everyone on the internet was making fun of her for this, and she saw the comments. Kylie then addressed this in an episode of The Kardashians, as she sat down with her sister Kendall and broke down in tears when talking about the comments. She went on to talk specifically about Paris Fashion Week, and she said that for the first time she decided she was not going to wear a lot of makeup while attending shows, which still prompted critics to attack her looks. "I'm wearing too much makeup and it's like you're wearing too much makeup, then I go and I don't wear a lot of makeup and someone catches me in a weird light," she complained. She later said that she wasn't upset about this particular story, but that she was tired of hearing this her entire life growing up in the spotlight. Later on she added, "I went on a journey last year dissolving half my lip filler. I hate even having this conversation over and over and over again. It feels like a waste of my breath because I think with me, it's never going to change." While there were some people who called out people online for being mean, others said they didn't feel bad for the star as she and her family have been pushing unrealistic beauty standards on women for the past decade. And finally, there's Simon Cowell. Simon's looks have changed a lot throughout the years, and people have been calling him out. His face is just so sunken in, and his teeth, or should I say veneers, are way too white. It's honestly scary. Now in 2022, Simon told The Sun, "There was a stage where I might have gone a bit too far with fillers. I saw a picture of me from before the other day and didn't recognize it as me first of all. Eric, my son, was in hysterics. Enough was enough. There's no filler in my face at all now. Zero." But then shortly after this interview, he was unrecognizable again because he got fillers again, and he looks even worse. Now, I'm not sure if he will ever stop doing this, because if he didn't stop before, I don't think he will now, and he's just too far gone. Meg Ryan is back in the spotlight in Hollywood, but she looks extremely different than people remember her. Great to see Meg Ryan back with her bread and butter, but Lord, I wish she didn't mess with her face, wrote someone on Twitter. Another user added, "I'm not going to have anything done to my face. I'm afraid of ending up looking like a trout. All the women in Hollywood do. They all start to look the same at a certain point. Poor Meg Ryan, for instance. She was so cute." Now, Meg has never admitted to getting work done, but plastic surgeons are positive that she's had work done and it was botched. "She's a mess," said celebrity facial plastic surgeon Dr. Sam Risk. "I think she had a bad facelift in the wrong directions, sideways instead of vertical," he said. Now, other people think that she got her cheeks filled. Now, Meg once addressed the speculation by saying, "There are more important conversations than how women look and how they are aging," she told Porter magazine in 2015 in an article that has since been removed. "I love my age, I love my life right now, I love the person I've become, the one I've evolved into," she said.
Number 10, Mindy Kaling. A video of the actress has resurfaced online recently, which has a lot of people upset. It comes from her appearance on the Conan show in 2016, where she joked about inappropriately touching her co-star Lee Pace. The disturbing confession comes when Conan asks her if the power that comes along with having a show named after you has ever got into her head. He was referring to her comedy TV series The Mindy Project, which was based on her own life. After admitting that she did let the temptations of misusing her power get to her, she told the audience the story of how she kissed her co-star Lee Pace without his consent while they were filming an intimate scene. She said, "I improvised just kissing him in the scene, which was not in the script. He was just looming above me and he asked me a question. I was not listening to him at all because who cares what he was saying." She said that he then reacted with an uncomfortable and equally shocked face. What she did wasn't in the script, and it wasn't even talked about beforehand. Conan joked that since she got away with it once, it would be happening a lot more now. Then Mindy jokingly crossed her fingers as if she was wishing it would. Number 9, Jared Leto. The actor caught some heat when TMZ leaked a video of him and his band 30 Seconds to Mars listening to Taylor Swift's 1989 album and saying how they really felt about her. Jared was caught saying, "F her, I don't give an F about her. It's whatever works best for us." Taylor's fans were obviously not too happy with what was said, and Jared received some pretty intense backlash from that recording. So much so that he eventually was forced to issue a formal apology, saying, "The truth is, I think Taylor Swift is amazing and an incredible example of what's possible. If I hurt her or her fans, my sincerest apologies." The whole thing was pretty awkward. Apart from that, Jared's also been called out on Twitter by other celebrities. In 2018, Dylan Sprouse shocked the internet when he tweeted, "Yo, Jared Leto, now that you've slid into the DMs of every female model aged 18 to 25, what do you say your success rate is?" As you would have predicted, the tweet totally blew up, and many people were happy that he was finally getting called out. In response, director James Gunn tweeted, "He starts at 18 on the internet?" Well, it's unclear what prompted Dylan's message. A lot of people did not like the fact that Jared never actually addressed those allegations. Number 8, Lizzo. A TikTok user by the name of Taryn Hart made a video explaining the moment that she had a disappointing run-in with the singer. Story goes that she and her mother were very excited when they won tickets to meet and greet Lizzo, as well as tickets to go to her concert in Dallas. After they queued for 3.5 hours, Taryn said that when she finally got to meet her idol, it was not the experience that she expected. Right away, she walked in and complimented Lizzo, saying, "OMG, you're so beautiful and you're even prettier in person." But instead of responding or even saying thank you, apparently she just nodded her head in silence. Then her mother said, "I love your music and I love listening to it on the radio." And Lizzo's response was, you guessed it, more silent nodding. Taryn said, "The woman did not say anything. She didn't speak. Right after she nodded, she turned and smiled for the picture. After waiting 3.5 hours, that was all we got. I didn't even hear what Lizzo actually sounds like." Her video left fans divided, as some people claimed that she might have been exhausted and not necessarily trying to be rude, while others were not so understanding. Number 7, Lea Michele. The actress starred as Rachel Berry on the hit TV series Glee from 2009 to 2015, but it was only after the show ended that her real on-set behavior was exposed. The controversial new documentary The Price of Glee features some bombshell revelations about Lea. Recently, the assistant to the executive director, Garrett Greer, described her as a narcissist and claimed that there was a conflict whenever she felt her character wasn't getting enough attention. Debius Snell, a fellow Glee actor, also came out with his own horror story. He claimed that she banned him from sitting with the main cast during their lunch break, all because she didn't think that he belonged. He said, "I was there maybe 10 minutes, and then I got pulled off by someone on set. This person allegedly told him that someone specifically at the table didn't want him sitting there because they said that he didn't belong with the rest of the group." Debius asked the crew member if Lea was the culprit, and he says that they made a wincing face and then nodded. He went on to say, like, "Wow, I really just got pulled off because of my status on the show. I've never experienced anything like that, even in a high school setting." Number 6, Paris Hilton. When The Simple Life debuted in 2003, the socialite portrayed the ditzy blonde rich girl alongside Nicole Richie. But it was only with the release of the 2020 documentary This Is Paris that fans started to realize the truth. The series revealed that she was actually a genius. Not only has she been putting on a baby voice for most of her career, but when it comes to business, she's always been very intelligent. Paris spoke to InStyle and said, "I'm a lot smarter than I pretend to be. The world got introduced to me with The Simple Life, with this kind of ditzy blonde airhead character, but that's never been who I've been." The movie insisted that Paris was a spoiled brat who claimed to have never even heard of Walmart, but none of that was real. She said, like, "Obviously I know what Walmart is. It was all about entertainment. Anything that I was doing, I was always planning in a way. I wanted to entertain the audience." Turns out the dumb blonde act really paid off because Paris gets 6-figure paychecks for public appearances. She's also launched 19 product lines and basically created a new genre of celebrity, those people that are famous just for being famous. Number 5, Jennifer Lawrence. There's a lot of reasons why people now view the actress's personality as fake, but that wasn't always the case. One social media user summed it up pretty well when they tweeted, "The way society turned on Jennifer Lawrence needs to be studied. She was the it girl of my formative years." But then as quickly as she rose to success, everyone was like, wait, she's actually fake and annoying. This concept that Jennifer was pretending to be Awkward really gained a lot of popularity in 2013 when she won her first ever Oscar for Silver Linings Playbook. She was walking up to accept her award and she dramatically fell on the stairs. Although she did receive a standing ovation from the audience after her fall, and she seemed emotional about winning, she was still sensitive about the trip, and apparently it didn't help that news anchor Anderson Cooper made a dig at her days later. She said, "I saw him on CNN 3 days later saying, well, she obviously faked the fall, and it was so devastating because it was this horrific humiliation to me. I don't know if I'll ever have a chance to give a speech like that again. So it didn't feel good for me not to have a speech." Number 4, Trisha Paytas. The 34-year-old YouTuber is best known for her videos where she eats and cries on her kitchen floor. She's been uploading videos on the internet since 2005, and you may recognize her from reality TV shows as well. Many people have asked, how did she become so popular in the first place? Because as we know, breaking the YouTube glass ceiling is a lot of hard work, and Trisha was one of the first creators to do it. She realized that the only pathway to internet fame was to be so outrageous, and so she built an empire off of being a living meme. While many people may underestimate her as simply a dumb blonde, she's actually an expert in the art of trolling, acting, and shocking viewers. Much of her fame came from simple videos where she puts on a persona and plays dumb for the camera, like the time Trisha made a music video professing her love for O.J. Simpson, insisting that she didn't know who he was, but she saw that he was released from jail and found him attractive. Not to mention the time in 2017 when she posted a video claiming that there was a vampire hiding in her house trying to steal her used tampons. As a result, her views skyrocketed, and she even went on to become the first YouTuber on Celebrity Big Brother UK. Number 3, Jennifer Lopez. The singer was called out on TikTok by a former Hollywood stylist named Tamaran, who's worked with several major celebrities from 2008 to 2017. She made a viral video speaking about her less than pleasant experience working with J-Lo. She said that people who work for the singer aren't even allowed to look at her, and there's a reason why she can't hold down a costumer or a seamstress. This lines up pretty well with all the reports of the singer's unpleasant behavior. Apparently she tries to avoid eye contact with anyone in the service industry and makes illogical demands. According to a flight attendant for United Airlines, she actually flat out ignores staff members and doesn't even directly respond to them. The employee told Star magazine, "I just said, what can I get you to drink?" Jennifer refused to even acknowledge me. She turned her head away and told her personal assistant, "Please tell him I'd like a Diet Coke." She wouldn't even look at me. It was sad. She seems so sweet in her movies. So it's likely that she's different in real life. Number 2, Ned Fulmer. The internet went crazy when a video started circulating on social media of Ned Fulmer from the Try Guys kissing his employee Alex Herring at a New York City bar. Now Alex is one of the most well-known employees of the company, and over the years she's been featured in many videos. So not only was Ned cheating on his wife there, but Alex was also engaged to her fiance Will Thayer at the time, and the couple had been together for 11 years. So the scandal was really insane. Fans were beyond shocked that certified wife guy Ned was even capable of cheating on his beautiful wife Ariel Fulmer. He was known as a super devoted husband who loved to gush over his wife in almost every video, so he really betrayed the audience as well as his own family. As a result, he was swiftly fired from the Try Guys, and he had to put out a statement owning up to the affair, where he took to his own Instagram account confirming that yes, he had cheated on his wife. "Family should have always been my priority, but I lost focus and had a consensual workplace relationship. I'm sorry for any pain that my actions might have caused to the guys and the fans, but most of all to Ariel. The only thing that matters right now is my marriage and my children. That's where I'm going to focus my attention." And coming in at number 1, Mike Myers. The actor's name is synonymous with the hilarious and charismatic character Austin Powers. However, he's reportedly completely different in real life, especially on set. There have been numerous reports suggesting that he is a nightmare to work with some people even claiming that he's a control freak and very grumpy. It has recently come to light that the actor makes tons of demands of his assistants. In fact, Myers reportedly made life a daily nightmare for the cast and crew of one of his biggest films. According to Amy Hill, who was his co-star in The Cat in the Hat, she said that it was a horrible, nightmarish experience. Hill claimed that he selfishly kept everyone waiting for hours, overruled the director, and even had someone standing by just holding his personal chocolates in a dish. Quote, "It was so weird. It was just the worst. I was miserable." Another story involves a fan that offered to buy the actor a drink. After telling Myers how much he enjoyed his work, he allegedly just looked at him and said, "I can afford my own drink," cursed at him and said, said, "Save your money for my next movie." So it seems like he might not be one of the celebrities that you want to approach in public.
Coming number 10, James Franco. When we think of James Franco, we usually think of the characters in film and TV that he's best known for. And the dangerous thing with James is that when he interacts with fans, he realizes just how famous he is and therefore believes that he can get away with a lot of terrible stuff. For example, the time that he decided to slide into the DMs of a fan that was underage. A girl from a small Scottish town was on a trip to New York City when she ended up getting to meet Franco at the Broadway show called Of Mice and Men. After tagging him in an Instagram video that is no longer available, James began flirting with her through the app. Lucy didn't believe that it was actually James Franco, so she inquired about proving his identity, which he did with no issue. He was very aggressive with trying to get this fan into his bed, which really changes the way that you see him. I mean, asking if he should get a hotel room right after asking if she was single is just nuts. Then to see her tell him that she would come back to NYC when she turned 18 only made him persist, which was really gross and proved that he had crossed a number of lines. In at number 9, Gwyneth Paltrow. Back when Trump was president, he told 3M to stop distributing their masks to Canada and Latin America so that Americans could have them. The reason why they said for the average person not to buy masks at the time was due to there already being a shortage, and most of them were needed for healthcare workers. Hence the government just telling you to stay home instead, but try telling that to the owner of Goop. Paltrow posted this selfie saying, "En route to Paris, paranoid, prudent, panicked, placid, pandemic, propaganda. Paltrow's just going to go ahead and sleep with this thing on the plane. I've already been in this movie, stay safe, don't shake hands, wash hands frequently." And here's where it all began to backfire. Paltrow threw on the mask and protective gear for another Instagram post about going to a local farmer's market, to which Dr. Jen Gunter replied, "Why do you need gloves and a mask? Isn't your immune boosting supplement that you were promoting at the start of the flu season effective?" I mean, kinda caught lying there. In at number 8, Kpop. Back when everyone was in lockdown for the first time, we all braced ourselves as April Fool's Day approached. No one wanted to be pranked because it felt as if we were already in the middle of some sick joke. The last person we would ever have imagined trying to pull off a prank though was a K-pop star, that's for sure. South Korean singer and actor Kim Jae-young decided it would be hilarious to tell his followers that he had been infected by the virus as a result of his negligence. He goes on to say that a person's individual actions can have such a big impact on a society as a whole. Not wrong, but okay. Then he decided to apologize to all of those who have been infected by him, closing out with, "My foolish judgment to live as though it couldn't happen to me is why I am like this today." The quote-unquote prank didn't stop there though, as he continued in another post saying that he was currently hospitalized, and to make matters worse, he even said that it wasn't an April Fool's joke, adding that his family and friends are getting sick and dying even. So he says all of that, and then at the end of the day, literally at the end of April Fool's, he just goes, "It was all a joke, April Fools, ha, I made you all think I had some terrible disease that was spreading around the world, how funny." Not too long after that though, the entire fan base took over social media to have a hashtag #JaeYoung party, and rightfully so. Coming in number 7, Ellen DeGeneres. When the pandemic happened and everyone went into lockdown, Ellen had a choice. She could have saved her staff and allowed them to work from home, but instead she bailed on them and hired an independent company instead. This clearly did not sit well with her former staffers and thus unleashed a litany of complaints about the star. Not only that, but we had a full Twitter thread of just negative interactions in general with Ellen that led many of us to believe that she was nowhere near the queen of nice like she wanted us to think. For example, the poor waitress who nearly lost her job after Ellen complained to management that her nail polish was chipped during service. On top of that, her comments about her $27 million home feeling like jail wasn't viewed as comical, but rather a flaunting of privilege in these uncertain times. Something that's both unnecessary and made people realize how truly out of touch these celebrities are. The truth about Ellen though is that she has been involved in the world of branding and celebrity imagery for so long that now her new hot takes are suddenly nowhere near relatable to the general public. Coming number 6, Robin Thicke. This one is next level embarrassing for everyone involved. His summer smash hit called Blurred Lines certainly started to explain his real life. Robin was happily married to wife Paula Patton, for whom he shares a son with. However, in 2013 he threw his entire marriage under the bus as a photo emerged of the singer getting a little too personal with a female fan who was later identified as a socialite. In the photo taken, you can see that the mirror behind Lana and Robin catches him with his hand going right up her dress. And the photo appeared to have been taken at an MTV VMA after party in New York City, which also just so happened to be the night that Robin had done his controversial performance with Miley Cyrus. So you know when he got home he had a lot of apologizing and a lot of explaining to do. Coming number 5, Lindsay Lohan. Whenever I think about Lindsay Lohan, my first thought always goes to her just being an actor. However, in 2018 she was trying to act like some sort of savior and really got exposed. While Lindsay Lohan was in Moscow, she posted a live video to Instagram where she told her fans that she spotted 2 young boys that she believed were human trafficking victims. In the video, Lohan approaches this family of what she says are Syrian refugees sitting on a sidewalk under some blankets. Now the fact that she wants to help this family is nice, but what's not nice is the fact that she also had to live stream this on her Instagram. Lohan tries to offer them a hotel room and suggests that the boys could even come back with her to watch movies on her TV or computer, and when the mother refuses to let her children just leave with Lindsay Lohan, the actress says to the mother, "You should not have them on the floor, you should be a hard-working woman and you should be doing what you can for your children so they have a better life." The family then tries to walk away from this odd confrontation, but Lohan continues to follow them and even starts accusing the mother of trafficking her own children, which leads us to this really embarrassing moment for Lindsay Lohan. After Lindsay tries to just run off with one of these children, the mother spins around and just cracks Lohan in the face, knocking her to the ground. Coming number 4, Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey can definitely sing, there's no question about that. However, this does not make her immune from copping out the odd time and lip syncing from time to time. Right off the top, you can tell that she is lip syncing in this performance, but when the music transitions and she comes down to the main stage, the sound tech plays the wrong song. I don't know if this was just an error or if someone was really trying to expose Mariah like that, but damn. My favorite part comes later on after she tells the crowd that she picked the wrong song. As she's talking, like mid-sentence, you can hear her trademark whistle note.
I'm gonna say let the audience sing, okay?
I mean, I had to include her in this list because apparently she got paid $3.5 million to lip sync her New Year's Eve performance. I guess you could say more than one ball was dropped that night. Speaking of lip syncing, coming in number 3, Ashley Simpson. This video still gives me secondhand embarrassment. Truly does. I just can't stop talking about it because it's amazing. In this video you can see all of this confusion when Ashley realizes that the track started playing before she even had the microphone up to her face. So then she just awkwardly dances instead, and at that point you can't even really salvage the performance. I mean, it's called Saturday Night Live for a reason. So she just did a little dance, said that she was sorry, and then blamed her band for playing the wrong song, and then it was all quick cut to commercial from there. During an interview several years later, she was asked about this, and here's what Ashley had to say.
What happened there was I had a vocal problem. I had 2 notes beating against each other, and I woke up and I had no voice. And then I should have said, no, I will not go on, I will not do this.
Coming number 2, Selena Gomez. This is perhaps every musician's worst nightmare, and it happened to Selena Gomez. At the 2013 Jingle Ball in Los Angeles, Selena had some pretty serious sound issues happening while she was performing. The irony in this situation though was when she was singing the line, "I got no regrets," and then boom, her lip syncing was exposed. Immediately after, while she's pausing with the mic lowered from her face, the vocal track sings on and shocks the 20,000 fans in attendance. And if that wasn't bad enough, she went on to alienate her fans even more by dropping a very audible F-bomb. The big WTF came after she ripped out her earpiece and then tried to continue, but when she couldn't get back into the song, her mic picked up the last moment of anger. Last but certainly least, in our number 1 spot, Michael Richards. Michael Richards is known for his role as Kramer on Seinfeld, and he's really funny on that show because he literally had Jerry Seinfeld and Larry David writing for him. I mean, 2 of the greatest comedic writers in our time, really. Although when that show ended, Kramer thought that he could just transition into stand-up comedy and be just as funny. Unfortunately, when his set was not going well at the Laugh Factory in Hollywood, he completely lost his mind and just buried his career.
Oh, it's a big threat. That's how you get back in the...
I guess someone heckled him and then he went on a tirade by screaming racial slurs and attacking the audience. It was so bad that a large majority of the crowd just got up and left the club in the middle of his act. He was never able to redeem himself after this racist rant, and it will serve as a stark reminder that Kramer was never funny. Fight me in the comments.
Every time I see this backdrop, I think about Kramer up.
In at number 10, Aubrey ODay. Aubrey ODay is known for having raunchy photos on social media showing off her body, but it was recently exposed that her figure could be a lie. Some paparazzi photos went viral showing Aubrey allegedly out walking her dog, but she didn't look anything like her Instagram photos, and her body had an entirely different shape. Aubrey has clapped back at the photos, saying the paparazzi ones are doctored, even posting a photo of herself seemingly natural, holding up a piece of paper with the date written on it, looking almost exactly how she does on
on Instagram. But just days after that photo was taken, Aubrey was allegedly spotted at a pool looking like the original paparazzi photos. There is speculation that the person in the paparazzi photos was not Aubrey, however the person did have tattoos in the same places as Aubrey, so people are pretty convinced that it's her. And at number 9, Steve Rannazzisi. Steve is an actor and stand-up comedian that became recognizable for his role in The League. However, his career took a major hit after it was exposed that he lied about being present at the 9/11 attacks. Steve would bring up 9/11 in interviews pretty often, saying it was the entire reason that he started his comedy career in the first place. In 2009, he said that he had been working for Merrill Lynch on the 54th floor of the South Tower when the first plane hit, even saying that he just barely made it out alive. But in 2015, he was exposed for being a liar. Apparently, there were no records showing that Steve had ever worked at the World Trade Center, and it was later revealed that he was in Midtown at the time of the attacks. He later admitted to everything, saying, quote, "I was not at the Trade Center on that day. I don't know why I said this. This was inexcusable. I am truly sorry." And at number 8, Millie Vanilli. Millie Vanilli was a massive pop duo in the 90s that had insane success, but one bad performance ruined their entire career for good. Basically, while the duo Fab Morvan and Rob Plattis were performing, their backtrack that they were lip-syncing to skipped, proving they were not singing. After the performance, the whole scandal blew up. It was discovered that the men in the group never even sang one word of the songs. Millie Vanilli was created by German producer Frank Farian, and he took the voices of some unnamed singers and made the duo the faces of the group, so they were getting all the credit for basically doing nothing but the performing. This took a huge toll on Morvan and Pilatus, and especially on their mental health, even resulting in Pilatus taking his own life. And at number 7, Jussie Smollett. In January of 2019, former Empire star Jussie Smollett made headlines after reportedly getting attacked during a hate crime outside of his Chicago apartment. He alleged that the men that attacked him were white and called him racist and homophobic slurs. He also claimed that the men were wearing MAGA hats, which would make it clear that they support former President Trump, which put a stain on his reputation. However, things changed quickly with the story when it was revealed that Jussie did not actually get attacked as he claimed, but instead he paid 2 men to stage a fake attack on him. He was then charged for filing a fake police report, but those charges were dropped. After the fact, he was served multiple lawsuits, and Hollywood completely blacklisted him. And at number 6, Lance Armstrong. Lance Armstrong was one of the greatest cyclists of all time, until it was revealed that he was cheating. Of course, any form of steroid use in the sports world is highly frowned upon and will get you kicked out of any competition. And over the course of his career, Lance denied using any form of performance-enhancing drugs. However, in 2012 it was revealed that he lied and he had been doping his entire career. This was first exposed in 2010 when fellow cyclist Floyd Landis, who was also accused of doping, revealed Armstrong kept his own blood available to use in transfusions during the race to give him an advantage. He also said Armstrong used testosterone to aid in recovery. After this, he was stripped of his 7 Tour de France titles and he was blacklisted from sports. Halfway number 5, Brian Williams. Brian Williams was one of the top news anchors ever, filling the coveted nightly news spot on NBC. He was even so well respected that he was frequently a guest on SNL and 30 Rock. But that all changed when it was exposed that Williams was a liar. The lie first started back in 2003, and he basically claimed that he was riding in a military helicopter that was forced to the ground while flying over Iraq. The plane was hit by an RPG and almost crashed. He kept repeating the story over and over for years after, even mentioning it on The Late Show with David Letterman in 2013. But when the world found out this whole story was a lie, everyone was shocked and felt they couldn't trust him again. He ended up getting a 6-month unpaid suspension from NBC, and his career took a huge hit. He never came back to his role and was demoted to a smaller network. And at number 4, Jack and Meg White. When the band called the White Stripes started to gain public attention in the 90s, they told the world that they were siblings. However, years later in 2005, the pair exposed that they are not siblings, but rather they were married. Apparently, they made up the story because they wanted the world to take them more seriously. I guess siblings are more respected than couples in the music world. The world found out the truth when the Detroit Free Press revealed that Jack, formerly Jack Giles, and Meg had gotten married on September 21st of 1996, and that he had taken her last name. The pair ended up divorcing in 2000, months before the release of their second album. Jack White told Rolling Stone that they did not come up with the plan to lie to the world, they just wanted to take the attention off their relationship and more so onto the music. And at number 3, Rebel Wilson. Rebel Wilson was exposed for not only faking her name, but her age. In Hollywood, having a stage name is very common and not something that people usually care about. However, after fans found out Rebel's name was Melanie Elizabeth Bounds and Rebel denied using a stage name, fans wanted to get to the bottom of it. Apparently, Rebel Rebel responded to the news of her name, saying that her real name is Rebel and Melanie and Elizabeth are her middle names that she would use to avoid getting teased. Not only did her name turn out to be a lie, but also her age. At the time, Rebel claimed that she was 29, but the tabloid revealed that she was actually 35, born on March 2nd of 1980, and had been lying the whole time. And truthfully, no one really cares about all these white lies. However, the fact that she didn't own up to it was the strange part. And at number 2, James Frey. Being part of Oprah's book club selection is a huge deal, and it almost guarantees a huge rush of sales and attention. This is exactly what happened to James Frey in 2005. His memoir, called A Million Little Pieces, was added to Oprah's book club because of how raw the book was. The story focused on Frey's drug addiction and his long journey to recovery. However, things changed in 2006 when a website called The Smoking Gun exposed that Frey had lied about most of his memoir. The site revealed court records, police records, and interviews with a variety of sources showed that Frey had falsified and exaggerated parts of the book, specifically surrounding his criminal past and time in jail. This concluded with Frey being directly confronted by Oprah on the show, where he admitted to lying. And finally, at number 1, Shania Twain. Shania Twain is the queen of country pop, growing up in Timmins, Ontario, Canada, a small rural suburb. While she was rising as a star, Shania claimed that she was part Native American on her father's side. This allowed her to work as an entertainer in the United States without a traditional visa because of a treaty that allows Native Americans to live wherever they want in North America. Shania claimed to be 50% Aboriginal on the side of her stepfather, Jerry Twain, a full-blooded Ojibwe. Her adoption by him, noted Windspeaker, allowed her to register as a quote status Indian, reporting that she was quote on the official band membership list of the Tegagami First Nation. However, it was revealed that even though Shania also claimed that her biological father had native blood, he did not, and his family stated that he was Irish and French. This made people question Shania and wonder why she put her stepfather as her biological dad. But she claims that her stepfather was her true father and she didn't lie to the native community.
Number 10, Liam Payne. After debuting his new look, fans were quick to jump to Twitter, with fans joking that he and his ex Cheryl had couple surgeries. Rumors started circulating about what he could have possibly gotten done. Fans were wondering if it could be Botox, the result of ozemic, jaw surgery, or just a bad edit. When pictures emerged showing his slimmer face and pretty chiseled jaw, it became speculated that he underwent a buccal fat removal. Back in 2021, Liam had complained about his looks in an interview, saying he felt very bloated. He said at the time, "I have put a lot of weight on. What got me, I did a performance on TV and I was disappointed with myself. I didn't look like how I wanted to look." A cosmetic surgeon has weighed in and spoken to Page 6. One surgeon commented on Liam's face was less chubby, making him look more like a model and rugged. Another surgeon warned about buccal fat removal, which is the most likely speculated surgery the singer has gotten done, explaining, "It is only suitable for those who are generally fit, have a good diet, exercise plan, and weight control, but their face is just round." Though he has yet to admit any of these changes, it seems like fans are torn about how they feel about the singer's new face. Number 9, Zac Efron. This is one surgery that was a necessity rather than a want, but it still broke the internet nonetheless. Zac Efron's plastic surgery speculations began back in 2021 when fans began noticing how different he was looking, with a much more pronounced jaw. Fans began believing that he went under the knife to achieve this look, which resulted in some being very upset at Zac for changing his face so drastically. But of course, that was not the case, and his face transformation came from a more traumatic event. The actor told Men's Health in 2022 that he actually shattered his jaw while running through his house in socks. He then slipped and smacked his chin against the granite corner of a fountain. As a result of this, he lost consciousness, and when he woke up, he claimed his chin bone was hanging off of his face. Zac claimed why his jaw grew larger in the interview, sharing that because the muscles used for chewing were working with the other muscles of his face, and the muscles on the inside of his jaw had to compensate. He said the muscles just grew, they just got really big. Zac admitted to not even knowing about the plastic surgery rumors until his mother called him to ask him if these were true. Going on to say, "If I valued what other people thought of me to the extent they may think I do, I definitely wouldn't be able to do this job." Number 8, Chloe Cherry. The Euphoria actress Chloe Cherry has always admitted to getting some work done, but it seems she doesn't care too much about fan opinions on her lips. The star told Variety, "It's crazy how many people talk about my lips being so big. The amount of headlines that I have seen and the amount of people posting and commenting about my lips has been surreal." She explained how these unwanted critics are ones that she's never had to face in her life before, saying, "It's nuts because you have to realize that I got these lips at some point in my life and no one reacted that way, at least not to my face." Going on to say, "So it's weird to see memes and stuff about it because these topics of conversation are on my body and I totally didn't comprehend what the big deal was." She has said though that people do need to realize that the memes can hurt. She told Paper, "It hurt a lot because I had no idea. People think it's okay to say that about someone's looks." Number 7, we have Melanie Griffith. Known for her role in Working Girl as well as many other classics from the 70s to 90s, she's been known to have an iconic look that many can recognize. But over the past few years, she has been receiving backlash for not keeping her natural facial features. Though she has previously denied getting any work done, she decided to come clean in 2018. When discussing her appearance, she claimed that she didn't realize how drastic these procedures had changed her. She goes on to say, "I didn't realize until people started saying, 'What has she done?' I was so hurt, so I started dissolving everything, so hopefully I can look more normal now." These days, it seems Melanie is more interested in focusing on her health and fitness rather than getting more procedures done. But what do you guys think of Melanie's changing appearance? Number 6, Amanda Lepore. The model and singer Amanda Lepore is said to have one of the most expensive bodies in the world. Her love of Marilyn Monroe from such a young age seemed to be a big player in her appearance from then on. Of course, she has always been very open about what she's had done, even coming out with a book called Doll Parts. She told the Post in the past, "I sometimes think about getting more stuff done to my body, but not really. Plastic surgery is for when you don't like things. Everything I've already got looks so good." Her plastic surgery consists of enlarging her breasts, implanting silicone into her butt, and even reportedly moving 3 ribs in order to have a thinner waist, among other things. She did admit that at the time it was an unusual choice, but she thought that Cher and Raquel Welch did the same. With all these surgeries, you can assume she doesn't love them all, but that is true in her case. Amanda has admitted that she's not so pleased with the complete outcome of her plastic surgeries more recently. She revealed that she has hoped her surgeries would transform her into either Marilyn Monroe or Jessica Rabbit. Even so, she still seems to be relatively happy with her decision to undergo these intense procedures, and said in an interview, "The main thing is to love yourself and not pay attention to others." Number 5, Priscilla Presley. Priscilla Presley, another star who has been in the spotlight for many years, famously being married to the great Elvis Presley. She's definitely seen some better times when coming to plastic surgeries though. After reportedly falling victim to a phony cosmetic doctor back in 2003, Daniel Serrano, a doctor from Argentina, would attend these lavish cocktail parties in Hollywood, and he would operate in the elite for the price of $300 to $500. Claiming these injections were way better than Botox, Priscilla unfortunately fell victim. Revealed later and after the fact for poor Priscilla was that Serrano was only licensed as a nurse and used a type of silicone that is often used for car parts. This led to uncovering more of Serrano's misconduct and led to his imprisonment. This pushed Priscilla to have to go through yet another surgery to correct all the past mistakes back in 2008. This helped but didn't quite fix the damage done. Priscilla says when going over the event, "To this day I have big bags under my eyes and I'm still trying to get treated for it. It's a constant battle and I feel like I have sand in my eyes." Number 4, Linda Evangelista. Linda, the former supermodel, went under the knife in the past but has now suffered a rare side effects from the procedure. What she has claimed has left her permanently disfigured. In an Instagram post back from 2021, the model explains that her absence from the spotlight is due to her botched surgery. She shared in the post, "I was brutally disfigured by the cool sculpting procedures which did the opposite of what it promised. It increased, not decreased my fat cells and has left me permanently deformed." She added, "Even after undergoing 2 painful, unsuccessful corrective surgeries, I have been left, as the media has described, unrecognizable." With her drastic change in her appearance, she shares how she is tired of living the way she has been and wants to walk out the door feeling confident even though she doesn't. Even though she doesn't look like what she did when she was younger. Many fans loved and supported her on social media, with one commenting, "You're a true icon and always will be." But others weren't so sure, not totally loving her comment about looking horribly disfigured. One Instagram user wrote, "Horribly disfigured? Come on, it's called aging." Number 3, we have Heidi Montag. Best known for her role in The Hills, Heidi Montag was definitely one of the up-and-coming stars from the early 2000s. But after undergoing an extreme full-body plastic surgery operation, her career took a bit of a turn. After her operation in 2010, she shared to the media how she felt before, saying, "When I watched myself on The Hills, my ears would be sticking out like Dumbo. I just want to feel more confident and look in the mirror and be like, whoa, look at me. I was an ugly duckling before. Heidi ended up undergoing 10 procedures in one day, which included Botox, breast augmentation, liposuction, chin reduction, and more. She revealed that all these surgeries resulted in the star passing away for a minute, even prompting her security guards to call her husband saying she wasn't going to make it. After this life-altering change she went through in just 24 hours, not only her looks changed, but her career. Reportedly, the star went broke not long after the intense procedure. She told the press in 2018, "The money was coming in so fast and it led me to believe that this was my life forever." She added, "It just kind of caught up with us. It was a lot and it was really overwhelming. I just think we need to reevaluate and reground our lives and our values." Because of getting these surgeries done at such a young age and all at once, Heidi has to live with a long-term health complications. More recently, Heidi told Cosmopolitan that she wishes she waited, saying, "I was really self-involved at the time, like so many young people. I think I looked in the mirror a little too much." Number 2, we have Dolly Parton. This incredible singer, Dolly Parton, has been open in the past about explaining and talking about her plastic surgery that she has gotten done. She's even admitted that with all the time and money she spent on achieving her look, she wants people to notice, especially when it comes to her breasts. In an interview, she said, "I've slapped a few people who didn't stare at them. This kind of money, they better be looking at them." Aside from her breasts, she has also undergone work on her lips and eyes in the past and said that her surgeon does all of her fender work. Never appearing to regret most of her procedures, she has explained, "It costs a lot of money to look this cheap. If I see something sagging, bagging, or dragging, I'm going to have it nipped, tucked, or sucked." When asked in 2018 about her decision to go through these very physically altering operations, she said, "I've created my own look to build my confidence because there are very few people are born beautiful, with natural beauty, and I certainly am not one." These procedures did come with quite a price tag though, with all the operations totaling to a reported $1 million. And at number 1, we have Kenny Rogers. Kenny was one of the best country singers from the 70s to 90s, best known for his songs The Gambler and Lady and She Believes in Me. Back in the late 90s, when fans seemed to wonder what happened to the legend after he underwent a few procedures that nearly made him unrecognizable to fans. Some say that these extreme invasive operations would later turn out to be the star's biggest controversies throughout his life. Before Kenny passed away, he admitted how he felt he needed to reinvent himself in order to compete with the new up-and-comings in the music world. In his memoir, Kenny shared that he really began considering surgery in fear that his time was coming to an end if he didn't make a drastic change. He revealed that he had various procedures on his face, including an eye lift. He later shared that he wasn't too impressed with the results of the eye surgery and said in 2006, "The surgeon is gonna go in and fix that for me. They're too tight around the eyelids for me, it drives me crazy. If we can fix that, then I'll be glad I did. And if we can't fix it, I'll regret it or get used to it." In 2012, during an interview with CBS, he explained further what fueled his desire for the dramatic changes to his face. He said, "I had the money to do it and I had the time off. I regret that, but the truth is, I don't know what I would look like if I hadn't done it."